Welcome to the Brothers of Destruction podcast, where we break down all the latest WWE action. From epic rivalries to shocking twists, we've got the full breakdown.
A big main event, generational main event for WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. OTC versus Best in the World for the World Heavyweight Championship. Before I say who wins, doesn't matter who won in the end because this was a classic. This is a brilliant main event. Damn. Wow.
The term classic, I don't think should be used too freely. It should be thrown around too easily. That was a genuine classic. That was one of the best Mania main events of all time. It was one of the best Mania matches of all time. It was one of the best matches, at least in the last 15 years. One of them, it was everything in a wrestling match. It was one of them matches that if you sat down with someone and said, you know what, you tried to get into professional wrestling, you sat down with someone and said, listen, I love this sport, I love wrestling, this is why I think you should get into it. This is one of them matches.
Storytelling in this match, the way it sold everything.
It was incredible. I said the storytelling and psychology was 10 out of 10. And listen, I'm going to give my rating for it now because it's an easy rating. It's a 10. My rating for the match was 10 out.
Giving a full 10, yeah?
Yeah, it's a full 10. And there's very few matches, like I've been watching wrestling 30 odd years. There's very few matches I'd give a 10. It's probably off the top of my head, maybe 4 or 5. I would give a 10 out of 10. So this has now joined that list.
I'd give it
incredible effort by both guys. Sorry, I just got a bit more on it. CM Punk is 47 years old. Now, to put that into perspective, Hulk Hogan was 48 years old when he fought The Rock, Mania 02, when Hogan was looked at as a bit of an old man at that point. CM Punk's only less than a year younger than that version of Hogan. And CM Punk, for me, was incredible last night. As great as Roman Reigns was and as great as Roman Reigns is, the effort from CM Punk, again, the psychology he showed, the skill he showed. Yeah, it was, for me, he cemented himself as one of the GOATs, CM Punk. If there's any doubts, as an in-ring performer, he confirmed himself as one of the GOATs. And I think
you actually confirmed it from this match, because I think you can maybe argue he's done it from before, but I think this match was brilliant.
Listen, he's had bangers before, but then it's 10 years. Again, when you talk about one of the GOATs, I don't think you throw that around easily. I think he's confirmed before that he's a legend, but it's genuinely someone that's in the conversation as best in-ring performer of the last 30, 40 years. I think he's in that conversation now. Would he be my out-and-out number one? No, probably not. But if someone came to me and said, you know what, I think CM Punk's the best in-ring performer I've seen in the last 30, 35, 40 years, I would debate one or two others, but I wouldn't say, no, I was no way, definitely not. It's not CM Punk. No, for me, this performance has put him on that pedestal. Roman Reigns can't be far off that pedestal. Again, and I've said this before, underrated in-ring performer because he doesn't do flips here and high-flying moves here and there.
And because he had that face run as well for years as well, when people
no one actually
even didn't want to admit he's good. I think people, even in that face run he had, when people hated him,
he had some great matches.
Think admitted he was good.
He did have some good matches at that time, but the last 5 years or so, 5-6 years, he's had some classics. And as an in-ring performer, and as I've said to you before, I think he's underrated because, again, his storytelling, his psychology, his IQ, the way he always looks in control.
In control of the match.
He just always looks like he knows what he's doing. He's one step ahead. There's nothing that's sort of rushed. I don't see, and if there are mistakes, he covers it up very well because I don't see someone making mistakes or botches. He's smooth, but again, he makes it look real. He makes it look believable. Roman Reigns as an in-ring performer, underrated. Like I said, because he doesn't do high-flying flips and moves and doing this and he's jumping off this rope and that rope. I think his actual in-ring ability gets underrated. But this is one of the great in-ring performers, one of the great wrestlers I think we've seen. And CM Punk, as an in-ring wrestler, for me, himself cemented himself as one of the GOATs in that match. It was incredible.
It's arguably each of their best WrestleMania match. And I'd say, even better, maybe even better than the Cody match Reigns had with Cody. This probably, I'd say this is better than Punk's match he had with Taker, which arguably might have been his best match, or if you're talking about last year's triple threat with them two and Seth. And you know what, Punk, I'm happy for Punk in particular because I know Punk main evented night one main event last year. Don't know if it would have meant as much to him just because it was a night one main event, but Punk said from years ago his only goal left was to main event at WrestleMania. He got to do that as a champion, walk out. He was the last entrant to walk out, last wrestler to walk out on a Mania card overall over 2 nights. Walked out as champion, closed the show, brilliant performance. And I think I don't think Punk's going to retire. I think Punk's going to have a little break now as well for maybe a month or two. But I think as well, Punk was to, for whatever reason, have to hang it up. I think, and even if it was out of his control, whatever, I think he'd be happy just to go out on that match. It's brilliant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm happy for Punk because he put on a performance of a lifetime with that match. I want to give it a 10, but I might push it just under a 10. I could easily go to a 10, but I'm going to give it just under a 10. But I could push to a 10 as much. If I watch it back, I might end up giving it a 10 just full on. 10, I always feel like it's a perfect rating, which I don't like to throw around too much. But if I watch the match again, I might end up giving it a 10. It was brilliant. Brilliant for both men. Effort put into it.
That's a fair enough rating. And what you're saying about CM Punk there it is interesting because now, actually, I don't think he'll retire, but
no,
I am curious to see how motivated he will be moving forward. Because he's had
that main event now.
Yeah, he had last year, night one. That was a huge moment for him. But to main event night 2 as champion and be the last man to walk out of a WrestleMania card, if that was your last real goal, it'll be interesting to see his motivation moving forward. Listen, I hope he's still motivated because I still think he's got a lot to give.
I think he will need that break. I think him and AJ Lee are probably having a break the same amount of times each other. So, and I think not so much AJ Lee, but I think CM Punk definitely needs it now because he's been on Raw.
He does
as well. He's had this big match as well, and I think he needs away from the spotlight a little bit now from it. Reigns is, by sounds of it, going to do the opposite, and he's not going to be part-time anymore. So I think he will be appearing on most weeks anyway as champion now, as he said on the post show, which will be great to see. You know, it might even be a last full-time run with Reigns in that sense.
Yeah, as a full-time, I think it will be. Listen, we don't need to see Roman Reigns every week, to be fair. I like the idea of the champion not being there every week.
Most weeks, you know what I mean? Even if
he's got to be there most weeks. Not necessarily every week, but he's got to be there sort of more often than not.
Yeah, of course.
So look, it'll be good to see more of Roman Reigns. I think he'll keep the belt for maybe 4, 5, 6 months, in my opinion. And I think that'll probably be the last one as a full-time wrestler. Then he will go back to being part-time. And I don't think anyone will then begrudge him that.
No, of course not. No, there's someone that's overcome leukemia. Still, I think wants to break into Hollywood at some point. You know what I mean? So, and he's been a full-time guy for years as well. He's a full-time guy for a long time before that. So,
listen, he's Roman Reigns is one of the greats. To be fair,
them two I think cement themselves as two of the greats. Definitely.
Both of them did. Both of them did. I think Roman Reigns also probably cemented himself as the number one guy of this generation. Again, if you talk about strictly in ring, then Seth Rollins would definitely have something to say about that. I think Seth is in ring only is probably the number one guy of this generation. But in my opinion, anyway,
or star power.
If you're talking about just the top guy of this era, then for me it's Roman Reigns.
Yeah, definitely brilliant main event. I have to watch it back as well because it was just that. It was a big fight. It was a big match feel to it as well. As soon as they both came out face to face, like if you look to be fair, if you look at years from now when he showed the clips of Hogan and The Rock face to face, Cena and The Rock face to face, and then you got Reigns and Punk face to face. I think them two will be in the clip of that as well. Years later, look at years from now.
Yeah, I think it will be. It'll be one of
that face.
It will be.
That was monumental anyway, but that was brilliant.
Thank you for watching the Brothers of Destruction podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and look out for our question of the week.